Hello my friends, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're all having a great day. Today's tutorial will be on this look using the Emily Wants. I have two coming in the mail and I'm going to do a giveaway with one of them. So look for that video. Anyway, this is the Emily Edit by Revolution, and it's the wants. She also has the needs. And it's interesting when you watch Emily's video, which I will link below for you. It's EmilyNoel83. But first of all, the mirror that comes in this is unbelievable. It really is. I mean, you never get a mirror. I just wish I had 20-year-old eyes again to be able to see myself in that mirror. But you don't get mirrors this big. It's really well made. It's got good, it's good quality, nice substance to it. And then you have all these beautiful shadows, and each shadow is named by Emily herself, and each name has a significance to Emily's life. So a lot of thought went into the name. A lot of thought went into this palette, I think. She kept it very authentic and original to herself and her channel. So kudos to you, Emily, for that. But I thought I would just do this is my first of hopefully many tutorials with it, and I stepped out of my own comfort zone. Anyway, I thought I would just give you a quick swatch because I think it's important to see swatches on different skin tones. I am a yellow undertone. I am light olive skin. So I thought I would go ahead and quickly just show you some color swatches and move on from there. So just bear with me. Of course, this tutorial is not going to be another 5-minute tutorial, not for me. So what I thought I would do is I'm going to just swatch the colors of the palette on my arm and let you just take a look at all of the colors on a yellow tone, light olive skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch, show you the swatches, and we are going to get going with this tutorial. So I'm going in with cream, and I'm just putting down a nice foundation, extending right over the tape. I do have the tape on because, as I mentioned, we are going outside of the box today. Okay, so then I'm going to go into Hobby, and I'm going to dip the tip of my Tom Ford brush into it. Of course, I'm going to tap it off because that's just what I do. And I'm just going to start a guideline of transition. And I want to make sure that I extend this right to the tape. Unless you have your tape really far down, then you don't want to. But I'm going to take this color, and remember, when you're doing your eyes, it is always good to go in with a little bit of color, work it, blend it, and then go back in and do the same thing until you have the intensity you want. Now I'm going to lift up a bit on the outer edge to give my eye the appearance of having an eye lift, because that's how we roll at this age. Okay, so we're going to go back into Hobby. Just pick up some color. I tap it off lightly, and I'm just going to repeat until I have the intensity that I want. Just remember to hold your brush towards the end. You have less power then in that brush. You're not able to, if you go like this, you're going to press too hard. But if you take it right at the end, you have to really think about controlling the brush. I think this is the best tip that I probably could give you at all when learning how to blend your shadows. Okay, and I am big into blending, if anything. So I'm just starting a light transition right now. So I'm going to go back in and pick up more of that Hobby and just really intensify that crease line. That's where most of the color is going. And I'm extending it out. See, I'm not coming down with it. I'm extending it out, because we want to have a lift to the eye. So just extend it out to the tape, and you're also most of your product is going on right here, so by the time you get to here, you have very little color. Okay. And then I will just lightly sweep up with this color. These are blending beautifully. Take your time when it comes to blending and layering. Now our transition shade is in place, so I'm just looking for a nice soft fluffy brush to just soften lightly. I'm not really messing around with the crease at all, just the above that goes towards the eyebrow. We're just softening that line down, and it's with a very light touch, okay? Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and I'm going in with another clean brush, and I'm gonna take a little bit of that Midwest, which is an orangier color, and I am just going to add that right into the outer part, and then just run it lightly to the inner part of my eye. And this is just to help soften and blend that all together. It's you almost won't even notice it, but you really will when you're sitting in front of your own mirror. And I'm bringing this one down on the lid just slightly and giving it an airbrushed look towards the end, okay? Okay, so there we have it. Now we're going into this beautiful side hustle. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Tom Ford 11 brush. This is a flat shader brush. It's a little on the large side, so if you have a smaller eye, you are going to need something smaller. And I'm going to just load up my brush with that side hustle. Okay, so I've loaded my brush up. Just going to give it a slight tap. And now I'm going to pack this on to the center of my lid first. So I'm going to go in, and I think Emily said that these do apply best when you go in with a sweeping action on them. So that's exactly what we will do. And then we can also use our fingers, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pack it on. Okay, so we're just going to go in and we're going to keep packing that color onto that brush. And I'm just doing little sweeping motions with it, back and forth. And then I'm just going, once I have it packed on to prevent any fallout that you might get, although so far I don't see any fallout, I'm going to just give it a good sweeping. And that should bring out the beautiful luster. Yes, it does. Okay, same thing on the other eye. Okay, so there's what we have. So now I want to start building definition on the outer corner. So I'm going to go in with Apartment. I'm going to take that Real Techniques shader brush that I was talking about. I'm just going to pick that color up. And now I'm going to just pack it onto the outer eye, and I want to make sure that I'm extending this out over the tape because I do want to have that edge of lifting up. Same thing on this side, and I'm bringing it in about 3/4 of the way. So now I'm going to go ahead and soften that edge. Same on the other eye. I'm going to soften, and while I'm softening, I'm lifting up slightly on the outer edge here. Okay, so then I'm going to take my brush that I had the green on, and now I'm just going to soften it, that line. I don't want to see where that burgundy and green stop and go. Okay, so now I'm going to go in, and I think I'm going to be brave here, and I'm going to take a little bit of that corduroy, just a touch of it, just a touch, my friends, a very small touch of it. Because this may turn a little too blue on me, but since I'm putting it over this brown, and then I want to just do a hard edge lash line. And this is going to act as a liner for me. And we're going to go ahead and just really extend that out. And then I want to go in and take my fluffy brush, and I want to soften that line. Let me look. Okay, so now the eyes are pretty much complete, so I'm going to go ahead with a clean brush, and I really just want to clean up the edge that runs closest to the eyebrow. I don't want to have a whole lot of color up there with this look on the lids. Of course, this is a very dramatic look. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the tape, and the tape I did touch on my hand before I applied it to my face so that it does remove easier. I see some people on YouTube that don't do that. You have to touch it on your hand for it to remove easier. And it is a great tool for those of us whose eyes are already drooping down. It is a great tool to really use to help give you that guideline that our eye just refuses to have anymore. So now I have quite a few products here that are new to me. Some came with my Sephora. I've been to Ulta. I've been a very, very busy girl. So I thought I would try the IT Bye Bye Pore Primer. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm only going to use this where I really need it, and that would be my nose. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to warm it up in my hands and apply it to the T-zone area where most of us have our pore problem. This is very, very silicone feeling. Okay, so the Bye Bye Pores, I meant to only put in my T-zone, but there was so much in that squirt that it went all over the face, okay? So now I am going to use my Charlotte Tilbury, which is not new. I've been using this, and I just love this. And I feel that I really need to brighten my face up when I'm wearing a more dramatic eye. So that is what I will be doing. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my fingers to... Okay, so that is the look that you get with that. It is really beautiful. So I was in the drugstore, or maybe even my grocery store, and stick foundations are coming back. Do you remember, my friends, Max Factor? My mother always wore Max Factor, and if I really thought hard, I could probably think about the color that she wore. But she always wore the Max Factor stick. Well, stick foundations are the rage right now and coming back. So I saw this one by Maybelline called the Super Stay. This is full coverage, and it's multi-use foundation stick, and the color that I picked, what color did I pick? I don't see it. Oh, 220 Natural Beige. And it does come with an applicator of a sponge tip to apply it. I know that's not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put it on the areas of my face that I would normally put the foundation. And I'm going to use my Sonia Kashuk sponge, which I absolutely love. And I was at my Target and they're back in stock. So I'm just going to start sweeping this foundation all over, and I'm just giving it a sweeping down motion, almost a patting sweep down. It really is spreading well, and it's a nice color for me. It does have a little bit of a yellow undertone. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more, so instead of putting it on my face, I'm just going to put it on the sponge and really work it into the areas that I need. Most of my coverage I like to have in the center of my face, and the outer face doesn't really need so much except for where my bluing veins are. Because if I don't, people are like, well, you have a bruise on the side of your head. They do that for my legs too. And I go right over my lips because sometimes I want my lipsticks to stay really true to color, and because I have a little bit more blue in my lips, it will sometimes change. I'm not going under the eyes with this, just almost. It will change the look. Okay, so that really does give a nice finish from a distance. Let me check and see. Okay, it has an okay finish, my friends. I think this is definitely going to travel. I am going to powder it down because I bought a new powder. But for now, we're just going to leave it like this. Okay, so now, because I'm using Emily from Revolution, I found this. This was at Marshall's for $3. And it's by Revolution, and it's just some color correcting. So I'm going to go ahead and take the peach. I have no idea how these products work. We're trying them together. And I'm going to really cancel out the bluing. Now, if you have blue under your eyes, peach is very good. I'm not sure that you can find this at Ulta, but I did find it at Marshall's. I think it's probably still a product that's available. And okay, so that really did work really well. Now I'm not sure how it's going to play with all my lovely wrinkles, okay? So I'm not really going to use a concealer, and I didn't buy a new one. I found this at Target. They now carry Well People. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this powder, and it is the Bio Brightener Invisible Powder. And of course, this is one of those clean, cruelty-free, vegan, natural lines. So I thought, what the heck? We're gonna give it a go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Now it is very pale in color. I don't always love that, but we're going to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to load up. Where is my powder brush? Here is my favorite, my Sephora. I'm going to load that up with some powder, and I'm not sure how this will play over this stick foundation. And I'm just going to take my beauty blender and really get in those cracks so that I'm not setting wrinkles. And that is important. Make sure you do it just before you go and pounce powder on, okay? Because it really does make a difference. All right, so that's what it looks like on this side of the face, and that's with none. So far, from a distance, again, I have new contacts that we're trying out, and I'm not sure they're going to work for me. I have vertigo, as many of you know, so it's very hard for me with contacts because I know Lisa only wears one contact. My brain goes into vertigo overdrive for that, and also someone had mentioned getting bifocal ones, so I'm going to, progressive. I'm going to ask about that. I'm not sure if I have tried those, but it may be impossible for me. Okay, so I'm going to go just lightly over that Revolution. Okay, so that is what the powder looks like. It really does kind of look nice. Okay, so we're going to go in with bronzer now. And for bronzer, I am just going to use the Anastasia. I didn't buy any other bronzer, so we're just going to go with this one because you know I love it so much. And I'm going to take my MAC brush that is just the perfect shape, and I'm going to go ahead and pick some of that up, tap it off, and apply it. I'm going to move up a little bit higher with this, and then I'm not really doing here. I'm going to go around the frame of my face, and I'm just going to lift it up. I'm not really doing the contour with this. I'm just bronzing, and I'm lifting it up a little bit higher to just, I don't know, make my face look a little bit fuller here. I'm losing so much volume. I'm almost flat right on my bone here. So I really have to play with products. I bought these, I bought them a long time ago when I was doing some cleaning the other day, and I found them. And I found them because I had seen something about Cher wearing them. And you tape them under here, and they go around the back of your head, and you can tape them right here on your jawline. I'm going to actually do it. And I know someone's going to say, she had a facelift. Yes, she did. And it's going to be them. Yes, it is. Okay, so just applying my bronzer and bringing it up a little bit higher just to, like I said, add some fullness. Now you can do a quick sweep over the eyebrow to try just to marry everything together. And of course you can chisel out your jawline, but just make sure that you really blend down. Okay, so there is that. Now I'm going to go ahead with this is a very soft pink, and this is by Antonum Baked Blush Rose, and this is another one of those green natural lines, and this is a baked blush, and the soft pink will be just really pretty. And I'm just taking a very airy brush to do this, and I just want to place just a little bit right here. It has a very subtle soft glow, and it's just really beautiful. Now you can also take a bit of this with a very soft brush so you don't disturb your shadow, and just place it on your eye, okay? All right, so now I want to go ahead and tightline. Now there are 3 options for me, and I know which one I'm going to do, but I wanted to mention because these are all different price points. This is the Sephora pencil. It's a very nice green, but I think they discontinued it. They've discontinued a few colors in this. But I was able to find this one for $7, and this is Driving in Malaysia, and this is a very deep green, which I'm going to use for tight lining. And then you could also, if you wanted to brighten that up, there is Revlon, And Revlon has a green that is almost the same color as Emily's eyeshadow. So this would be a beautiful liner for those of you who wanted to keep it all together. And this one here is called Jade. And then there is Magic Kohl. This is one of my most favorite, and this is number 5 by Givenchy. I'm not going to use this because I've used it so many times, but it is the perfect, and I mean the perfect green for me. It's an olive tone, and it's just beautiful, okay? But today, we are gonna go ahead and use the Sephora brand. Now the Sephora brand, some of them, there's a few of them that are matte and some have glitter. This is a glitter one, so you have to be careful if you're wearing contacts. So I'm going to bring my eye up and I'm just going to brush along my lashes. And these are waterproof. They do not stay as well as the NARS pencil for me, but so I know I always use my NARS pencils in my videos, but I have several. Okay, so now if you look at that eye and how it pops compared to this one. Okay, so we need to finish underneath the eyes, and I kind of have a rule of thumb for underneath my eyes. I know that you'll see some of the young girls, they might pop purple under there, and if that's what you want to do, you can do that, but I'm going to go in with a flatter brush, and I'm going to pick up the hobby that I used, and I'm going to go ahead, and that hobby is just going to run right up into my tape line now. I'm taking that color, packing it on the brush. You can tap it off if you'd like, and we're going to just smudge it, and I'm running right into the outer edge line, and that helps to soften that tape line. Okay, now I'm not going to take this color all the way over, but I am going to build it up, and I come down a little bit, almost like it's giving it a shadow. It just helps to widen the eye a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, as close to the lash line as you can get, and then just sweep it up into that tape line. And it will soften, and then just smudge it down slightly, and you'll get something that looks like that. Now I'm going to turn that brush around, and I'm going to go in and pick up Midwest, and that is the peachier of the two tones, and I'm going to go right over that, but this one I'm going to run it all the way across. Okay, same thing on this side. Okay, so that is the way I will finish this look. Of course, and I don't like to do this for myself, but you could always go in with Oh Heavens and just touch it right here to really brighten it up. Maybe for the tutorial I will do it, okay? Let me just do it for the tutorial. I'm going to pick up, this is just a really small dome brush by Real Techniques, and I'll pick up a little bit of that Oh Heavens. And I'm just going to pop it right here and then just softly blend it. I don't really want to see this when I look at my eyes. Some people, they really put it on and exaggerate it. You could also use the gold in there, or you could use the green, the lighter green that's in this palette, the Grateful if you wanted. I'm just going to stick with this, and you'll see it just, oops, I got a little bit there. It just brightens it up slightly, okay? I got a little bit of that liner on my contacts, and that's not a good thing, okay? All right, so there we have that, okay? So now I bought 2 new mascaras. I have NARS and I have the Hourglass. I'm going to try the Hourglass since it seems to be the one that everyone is asking about. I have tons of new things to share with you. It comes in a beautiful package. And this is black, and the brush is fabulous, my friends. You know I love a good brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and, whoops, it's got a big blob on the end though, so we don't want that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead I got a big spot there, but if you watched my last tutorial, you know, don't touch it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and really build this up. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to do my lips, and I got the Makeup Forever 500 point gift or something like that, and they had Wherever Walnut as a lip liner in there, so I'm going to go ahead and apply that. But first, I'm going to lightly powder over my lips. Say that this eyeliner from Sephora, the Malaysia one, it's really bothering me, my contacts. It's all over the place, okay? And don't worry, I'm going to get this off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do our lips. Okay, for my lips, I lined them and then I did the outer, leaving the center because I want more of a pout look. And the lipstick I am going to use is by Charlotte Tilbury. And this is Coachella Coral. And I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of this on. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and it's not really right for this look. So now I'm going to take a lipstick that I have by Flower, and this is Peach Nude, and I go ahead and apply that over. Okay, so now that we have our lip and eye done, let's go ahead and get that mascara off of our cheek right here. See how that brushed right off? And then I'm gonna go ahead and just brush it right off here and gone. Okay, so now I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do my eyebrows and my hair, and I will be back with my finished look. I so appreciate that you stick around with me because I know my tutorials are long. All right, my friends, I'm back with the finished look. I will say that the eyeshadows I'm happy with. The mascara is an absolute no matter what it looks like on camera. And the foundation at first glance it's not too bad, but I'm not sure how it's going to wear on my skin. I am very dry skin, so this is it's considered full coverage. I don't feel that I have full coverage here. I feel that it has to be built up to be full coverage. And then I would have to say that if you have a lot of wrinkles, perhaps this foundation may settle in them. Like I said, I haven't worn it. This is my first time trying it. I haven't worn it long term, so we will have to see. So if you are someone who is wearing this foundation and it is working for you, please leave it down in the comments and tell us what type of skin you have. Do you have large pores, oily skin? Although oily skin and stick foundation usually don't go well together. They don't play well together, because there's a lot of moisture usually in a stick foundation. So I am so happy that I got the Emily Edit, the Wants. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for sticking with me. Don't forget, subscribe. We are living life here. Go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.